Hello everyone, and welcome to the Autodesk Help webinar series, Building Your Advanced Steel IQ. My name is Emi Nestor, and I will present you the today's topic, Generating Detailed Drawings Using Advanced Steel 2017, together with my colleagues Ashley Luz and Jakub Brozonovic. Thank you for joining this webinar. We appreciate your time, and I hope you'll find this webinar A few words about ourselves. I am Emi Nestor, and I am part of the technical support team based in Farnborough, UK. Today, I will be assisted by my colleagues Ashley Luz from Boston office, USA, and Jakub Brozonovic from Krakow office, Poland. As you might already know from day-to-day interaction on support requests, we are all three part of the frontline technical support team specialized in the advanced steel product. During this presentation, please feel free to leave questions in the chat window. We will try to answer as time allows, and further answer will be provided on the forum. Please note that the session is recorded. The recording will be made available through the forum. The today's webinar agenda includes a brief presentation of Advanced Steel webinar series, and then we'll go to the topic, Generating Detailed Drawings Using Advanced Steel. At the end of the session, we'll have the open Q&A session, and we will answer to your question as much as possible, and further answer will be provided on the forum. I'd like to have a short survey at this stage. Just one moment. To know a little bit information about yourself. Did you attend any Autodesk Help webinar so far? Please select one option. Let's wait a little bit more. One more moment. And then close. Okay, see quite a fair distribution. All right, and a second one. What is your current level of knowledge in advanced steel? Just heard of it? Beginner, intermediate, or advanced? All right. One more moment. Okay. So it's quite an even distribution again. All right. I thank you very much for your answers. I hope we'll provide good information for all of you. All right, let's start with a brief presentation of this series. The intention is to provide additional knowledge of different topics or areas of advanced steel product. Topics that are raising multiple questions and support requests, topics that demand additional clarification or help in day-to-day use of the product. On the webinar page, on the webinar series web page, you could find the next proposed topics, and also you can send additional proposal or requests that will help us to prioritize the presented topics. The webinar format is based on 20 to 40 minutes presentation, and then followed by an open Q&A session. Let's start with our today's topic. The project workflow in advanced steel can be structured in the following phases. 3D modeling, when the entire model is created with all the elements, connections, then checking and verification, and then the numbering, identical part detection process. The next phase is the detailing phase, creating the workshop and direction drawings. The next one will be BOM list, bill of materials, and an additional phase that will cover the generating of additional files, NC and DXF files for numerical control machines, different types of export files, SMLX, KISS, IFC, export that will be used by other applications. Today we'll cover the generating detailed drawings with Advanced Steel 2017. In Advanced Steel, a detailed drawing is generating by applying a drawing style. A drawing style meaning a template containing the rules for what should be shown in the detail, how it should be shown and labeled, and how should be dimensioned. So this is in fact what is a drawing style, a template. There are three main types of or categories of detailed drawings, respective drawing styles in Advanced Steel. We have single part elements. That means each individual element, each beam, each plate, each folded plate or grating. For each single part element, we have the single part detail drawing. This is the detail that will go to a workshop drawing and provides all the necessary information to get the specific element. Then we have the assembly or the main part element. This is the group of single parts that are connected in the workshop. And for them, we have the main part or assembly detail drawings. This detail drawing contains all the necessary information to connect, to build the assembly in the workshop. Briefly, an assembly is the element that will leave the workshop. All the elements that are connected, welded together. And of course, the next one is the erection or overview detail drawings, the details that are used on site in order to build the structure. And we have different types: elevations, plan view, isometric view, detail nodes. However, all of them are a single category overview details. We will get back on this a little bit later on during our presentation. However, at this moment, I just want to point that the type of the detail drawing is set in the Drawing Style Manager on the page Model Object Selection. And you can see we have the three main categories: overview, single part, and assembly drawings. This option is the one who governs the type of the detail drawing. All right, let's see how it works in Advanced Steel. We have a 3D model. We consider that the 3D modeling phase is finalized. All the elements are there, all the connections, bolts, welds, the verifications, clash check detection, any model check, this verification phase is already finalized, including the numbering phase or equal part detection. So we can check one element, we go to naming, and we can see this one is the assembly C17 and as a single part is C220. So the next phase will be to generate the detailed drawing. There are two main ways to generate detailed drawings: manual generation and automatic generation of details. Let's start with creating manual drawings. For that, let's say I would like to create a detailed drawing for this beam. We go to Output Ribbon, Drawing Style, Palette. And from here, we will go and we'll choose from different categories. We will choose the detail drawing, the drawing style that we want to use. At this moment, for example, we want to use to create a single part drawing using single part beam. We use it. In this dialog, we can see and change the detail title and other options. At this moment, we will use just the default settings. We can change the scale of the detail drawing. Let's see, we will use 1:20. Okay. Then we select the element that we want to detail. Right-click, and then each detail drawing is created in a separate drawing file. Here we can see and set the file name 001 file, and then we can set the prototype that will be used to generate the detail drawing. Let's say we are using A4 format. On my system I have English International installation with default metric system. For Imperial system it's quite similar, it's the same thing, only the units are different. For example, ANC, A, and CC. So we select the A4 prototype, alright, okay. And we can see that the detail drawing was generated. We go to Document Manager. This is the interface that will show all the documents generated for this project. We see the detail drawing, open drawing, and we have generated the single part detail for this beam. Okay. In the same way, we can choose a different category of a different title, a different drawing style for other elements. For example, in this case, we have the steps, which are folded beams. This shape. And for this one, I would like to use a different type of detail because I would like to see the unfolded shape. For that, we go again to the palette, and we can choose the development front right drawing style. Prior to that, on this palette, we can expand it, and for each drawing style, we can see a short description and image of what the detail drawing will create. Create workshop detail for single part beam, front, view, and top in this case. Right now, we will choose development front right. Again, different scales, we will let it as it is right now. Okay. Let's choose a different prototype. And now we go to Document Manager and select the second drawing to see what we have done. The result, as you can see, we have the right view of the step and the unfolded shape of the step. Right. As you can see, to generate manually each drawing, it's for each element one at a time, it's time consuming. We will try to generate all the details for the beams in one step. But in this case, we'll use a different method. The drawing style palette, it's an interface that shows us only at least it's supposed to show us the most common used drawing styles. These are not all the drawing styles that are installed on the system. To see all the detailed drawings, we go to Drawing Style Manager. Again, on the ribbon output, Document Manager panel, Drawing Style Manager. And we can see here and we can access all the detailed drawings that are installed on the system. I have the user branch where I'm able to select and modify any drawing style, and also I have the advanced branch where I have the default installed drawing styles, and I'm not able to modify them. On my system, for example, at this moment I have the standard drawing styles. That means my current installation, English International installation, plus the drawing styles for Americas as a country add-in. I would like to create the detailed drawings for all the beams in the model in one step. For that, first of all, I will select all the beams in the model. I'll go to Advanced Palette, Selection Filters, and I will choose all the beams. So I selected all the beams. Go to Output, Ribbon, Drawing Style Manager. I'll go to User, Single Part, and I will use these drawing styles for all of them. Use. I let default settings. All right. Please select additional part. It seems that my drawing styles was not the right one. Just one moment to repeat the same steps. We select again all the beams. Drawing Style Manager. Let's go to Advanced Branch. Model Object Selection, Single Part. OK. Use. I will select as prototype an A0 format or A1. A1. It will take a little bit of time to go through all the selected elements. We can see a message in the command line: the following drawings were not created. So the drawings are finalized, and then we can go to Document Manager and select the drawing, Open Drawing, and all the detailed drawings for all beams are generated now using that drawing style. There is one important note when we use this method. Creating details by using manual creation, we create one DVG file at a time. So even if I'm able to create several details for as many elements as I want, all the details will be inserted in one DVG file. So in this case, even if the prototype, the page was full, the next elements were generated in the same file. This is the side effect of using Drawing Style Manager. All right. At that moment, we have generated all the detailed drawings for beams. Let's continue with the plates, but in this case, we'll choose a different method. Instead of creating drawings manually by selecting each plate at a time or each drawing style at a time, we can automate all this process. For that, we can use a drawing process. We go to Output, Drawing Process Palette is the equivalent of the drawing style palette. A drawing process is again a template that will contain the rules that will contain the rules for what elements should be detailed, using which drawing style, and using which prototype. I would like to create a drawing for the plate. I have selected this plate and then these two plates. And I will go again, I will search through categories. I have this one, selected single parts, plate, auto page. So the intention of this drawing process is to create automatically the detailed drawings for the plates I selected using auto page, meaning we'll choose automatically the smallest page that can be used. Alright, selected single part plate. Is finalized. We are going back to Document Manager, and we can see the two detailed drawings that were generated. We can go to Document Manager, select this drawing, open page preview, and we can see the drawing that was created for this one and also the other one. Let's open it. So in this case, we see that the drawing process created two separate drawing files, one drawing file for each plate. Let's create now all the drawings for all the plates, but instead of creating one drawing file for each plate, let's try to use a different process. Similar to the drawing styles, palette and drawing style manager, we have the same thing for drawing processes. We have the drawing process palette, but also we have a lot more drawing processes already defined that we can access by opening drawing process manager. Let's open drawing process manager. And in this case, we go to the category single parts all, and we choose a drawing style like all single part page full A2. But let's go only for plates. All single parts plates page full A2. Use. This is unexpected. Okay. And now we go to Document Manager, and we see that we have only one drawing in this case. That contains all the single part plates details and also the BOM list. The result is a bit strange. All right. As you can see, in this case, it's much easier to create the detailed drawings because the process itself selected all the plates, selected the format that we indicated in the first time, and then it generated all the detailed drawings. So it's much easier to use a drawing process than a drawing style directly. At this moment, we have generated all the detailed drawings for single parts plate and single parts beam. Now the next phase will be to create the all the detailed drawings for the assemblies. In this case, Let's start with the columns, for example. We can select all the columns using search filter. We'll use steel beams. And we know that all the columns have the model role column. Alright. And again, we have the option to select a drawing style directly or a drawing process. Let's use a drawing style. We open Drawing Style Manager and we go now to the Assembly branch, Column, and use no, at this moment I just marked the columns, but I didn't select them. So we start again. I'm closing this process and all the columns are selected, are marked. Now they are selected. Go to Drawing Style Manager, Column, Use. We choose the scale. In this case, let's see 1 to 15. And we will use drawing prototype A0. As a result, all the columns should be detailed with this drawing style in a single page A0. We see 07 and we can see all the drawings. This one, C45, and we can see the detailed drawings, how it was created now. We can go further to create the assembly drawings for the rest of the elements, but in this case using a drawing process. We open Drawing Process Manager. We select the Assembly branch, Assembly All, and let's choose Page Full A1. In this case, the drawing process will select automatically all the assemblies from the model and will create detailed drawings for the assemblies using the prototype H1, the page A1, until the page is full. When the page is full, a new DVG file will be opened using again the A1 format and will continue until all the drawings will be finalized. Alright, in this case it will take a little bit of time, a little bit more. What is important when we are using a drawing process is that the drawing process can use different drawing styles for different elements. In this case, for the beams, is able to use a drawing style, while for the bracing is able to use a different drawing style. So it's much easier to configure a drawing process to tell the rules to be used during the detailing and then just use a drawing process. So we go to Document Manager and we can see these are the drawing files that were created. Let's open one of them. And we can see for this angle only one view was created because only one view was necessary. Then beams, beams. This is the rafter. And we see that when the prototype is full, it's was closed, and the new drawing file was open. Let's see. This is my 3D model, and we have its folder, and we can go to details and open the 11 drawing. This is another one. In this case, here we have a beam. All right. We save everything. At this moment, we have generated all the drawings for single parts and for assemblies. The next phase will be to generate the overview details. There are two important remarks regarding overview details. All the overview details are dependent on the UCS, meaning the orientation of the X or Y plane. The current UCS will be the one who decides how it will be shown. In this case, we have the X or Y orientation like that, the UCS orientation, so that overview detail will be oriented from positive Z-axis looking to the X or Y plane. We can use this button, View on UCS, and in this case, this is how the detailed drawing will look like. In case that we modify the UCS, for example, let's rotate the Z-axis and use again View on UCS, we'll see that the elements will be the same one, will be the same plane, only the orientation will be different because the X-axis is horizontal. This is one remark regarding the overview details. The second important remark is related to the depth. The depth, it means the forward and backward distance relative to the X or Y plane. This would decide how much from the 3D model will be shown, what slice of the model. So in fact, using the X or Y plane plus the depth, we will have a box from the 3D model that will decide what will be shown in the detailed drawing. This box can be limitless, without any limit, or we can have limits. But in any case, we discuss about a box, not about a plane, only a plane. Let's try to see how it works. In this case, I would like to have a drawing showing all the base or all the column base. We go to Palette Drawing Styles, and let's use Detail or Elevation. Let's use the Elevation drawing style. In this case, when we start the detail drawing, we can set the scale. Let's use a different one, 1 to 50. We can change the title. And on this page, detail box, we see the Z viewport. That means the depth of the box. Front 500 and rear 500 millimeters. All right. We choose the prototype. This is the same workflow as for any other drawing. And we see the detail drawing. Document Manager. Open drawing style, and this is the result. column base, and we can see everything here. In this case, as you can see, there is no limit. That means the entire model was shown in this plane. The entire limit, the XOY plane is without limit. Only depth was limited. Let's make another example for the first portal frame. In this case, we change the orientation of the UCS. In this case, we place the XOY plane in a vertical position in order to look from Z, positive Z axis, to the portal frame. And because I don't want to see the entire building, I will use again a drawing style with limits. Let's say in this case, let's choose again front rear, model clipping UCS without hidden lines, and limit 500 forward and backward. Use. In this case, elevation axis A. Detail box, front, rear 500. All right. Let's open the detail drawing. So this is the detail drawing I have created. As if we select the green frame, right click, advanced properties, we can modify the front and rear depth. For example, I have created a detail drawing and I'm not happy with the depth. So in this case, I can use here 150. The detail drawing will be updated, and then I will see more from this one. I could even change again, and I can activate the unlimited view, the unlimited depth of the box. And let's see the difference. In this case, I see the entire building looking from this direction. All right, that was the method to create the detailed drawings manually. However, there is a different method which I find it much better. We can use a camera. From Advanced Tool Palette, we have this one, Create Cameras at UCS. Again, is dependent on the UCS orientation, XOY plane. So let's say I would like to create a detail node for this part. I will move the UCS here, node, and looking from this direction, I will create a camera. Please locate point 0. And let's give him a title, Detail Node 1. And here we can see this element. We can set the limit for depth. But also we can set the fixed the limit on X and Y direction. Right. So in that case, this camera includes only the elements from this box. I can create as many cameras as I want. For example, I can create another one, moving the UCS. I will change the orientation on the other part. in order to create an elevation for this axis. So move the UCS here. Then create a camera, elevation, axis, let's see which axis, this one is axis 3. Detail box, I will choose limit as a depth, this one and this one. But for X or Y plane, I will not choose any limit. I would like to see the entire model, this slice of the entire model. Now, we can go to drawing processes, and then we can create a detailed drawings using all cameras, page full A1 in this case. Okay, let's see the result. Drawing manager, document manager, and in this case we can see in the same drawing we have the detail node, and then we have the elevation from axis 3. As you can see, it's much easier to use the cameras, and it's you have a different advantage. For the other drawings on this part 14, for this elevation, also for this one on plane, the plane view, you don't know exactly where is it. In this case, because it's a particular case, it's a base detail, yes, you can see. However, you cannot modify it. In this case, for camera's view, you can modify the dimensions of the cameras and even the position of the camera, and then you can update the detailed drawing. Let's see if I'm doing something like that. I can modify the camera by grip points, or I can modify the X direction. Then I can go to the camera, this one, and update the detail. Let's see what will be the result. And in this case, the detail was updated quite okay. I don't see the top of it. That means I can go here, then go back to the model, to the detail drawing, update, and this is the detail again. So this is the main advantage of the cameras. One is that you can generate all the elevations and detail nodes in one step, and then you can always see where it was done, how it was created, the limits, and you can modify them very easily. All right, let's save. So this is what I wanted to show at this moment, at this time, regarding the cameras and regarding creating the detailed drawings. At this point, except the overview drawings, almost all the detailed drawings for this project are generated. So right now the next phase would be to go to each detailed drawing and to go to the finishing phase. That means to open the detailed drawings and to see if you need to add or remove any dimension, add or remove any labels and so on arrangement. But the detailed drawings are already generated for the entire project. So let's go back to our presentation. Let's open now the question and answer session. If you have any question at this moment, let's see. Can you define? I see a question from Barry Jones. Can you define detail node? What do you mean exactly by it? Detail node. The meaning is related to what you think of a detail node. There is one type. Let me go to the model. In a project, you need to create special views for a node, just to detail it, how it is assembled on site. So special details for to be helpful on site during the erection. In Advanced Steel, you can create this type of detail node using cameras, and also there is a special type of camera. That means, let me show you. I will move the UCS on this node. The orientation of the UCS, I will place it, I will change the orientation by Y axis, and then I will place the cameras here. I will set the box limits. And in properties, we have type for each cameras, and we have different type of cameras. Anchor plan, intersection, node, overview, and roof plan. We can choose node, and I will provide detailed node 1. And in this case, we have chosen a special type, a specific type of the camera, not any type, a specific type, node. Then, if we go to Drawing Process Manager, to the branch Drawing Processes Cameras All, we can find a specific process, all cameras node each A3. This process will select and will provide detailed drawings only for the cameras type node. So if I'm using now, even if I have other cameras in the detailed drawing, I will use only this one. It will create a detailed drawing only for this one. Let's try it. Use. Let's go to our detail 16. And in this case, I have created a detailed drawing only for this node. See, the rest are not created. I hope I have answered to your question. see a very interesting question. How effective is the drawing process suite? Can you show an example of how it can be easily set up? So we have discussed about creating drawings manually using drawing styles. This is the template that decide what should be shown in the detail, how should be shown and labeled and dimensioned. We discussed the other method, drawing process. That means a template that will use the detail styles, the templates that we discussed before. It's an automatic process to generate all the details for specific type, for specific assemblies or for cameras or for single parts. There is an additional method on top of processes. Drawing process suite is this one. How can it be used? It means to create a rule, to define rules, to use several drawing processes one after the other. In this way, you can create the rules to create all the detailed drawings in all steps. And when I mean all the detailed drawings, it means all the single part drawings, all the assembly drawings, and all the camera view drawings. Let's see. I don't see anything here. Oh yes, in the standard branch, we have a drawing process suite already defined, meaning all single parts and all main parts. In this case, it's using the drawing process, all single parts, page full A1, and then all the page full A1. For user is the same thing. Is the same one and the same one. So I can add a new process here. For example, I can select cameras, all the cameras, anchor or all cameras, page full A1. Let's see how it's working. At this moment, I already generated the detailed drawings for the entire project. So in order to generate again the detailed drawings, I have to delete the current ones. Or I can show you something else. We can go to Management Tool. By default, Advanced Steel will create only one drawing per element. That means one drawing per single part and one drawing for assembly part, in order to not have duplicate drawings. There is an option in Management Tool, Management Tool, Defaults, Drawing General, Allow Duplicate Workshop Drawings. I will activate it, Load Settings in Advance, and then let's use this drawing suite. It will take a bit of time. I will delete this one, the cameras, because the intention is to create all the detailed drawings, all the workshop drawings for this project in one step, one shot. Use. Well. So right now it will start with all the single parts drawings and then with all the main parts drawing. Okay, it will take a little bit. I see that already is on the assembly drawings. So for one process, one drawing process, you will find you can generate the details for one type. That means for single part drawings or for all the main part drawings. The drawing process suite is able to generate all the single parts and all the main parts drawings, different type of details, which is quite okay. In order to use the drawing process suite, you need to spend a little more time in configuring your drawing processes. For that, you'll find, for configuring drawing processes, you'll find a good resource on Autodesk University. It's a class for advanced steel drawing process dedicated to this part, to configure drawing processes. So, the drawing process suite is finished. And if we go to Document Manager, we can see that from this one to this one, we have all the drawings generated for this project. So yes, especially when you have the same type of structures, you can configure this one in order to generate all the detailed drawings in one shot. Thank you. I see that, a lot of other questions. Very good questions. Thank you very much. We will try to answer to all of them on the forum further on. Okay. You can find additional resources using these links. This is the link to the Advanced Steel IQ webinar series. Then Advanced Steel on HAN. Also, you can find very good resources on the Advanced Steel official YouTube channel. A lot of videos showing different topics from Advanced Steel. Autodesk University, classes on demand. Using this link, you can find a lot of classes with very good resources on that. Then you can go to Advanced Steel forum. It's quite an active section of Advanced Steel with very good users and active users that are providing answers, and including Autodesk people who are answering to that, to the questions on that part. And of course, Advanced Steel 2017 help. So I would like at the end to go to a new short poll. Did you find this webinar helpful? Okay, let's wait a bit more. All right. Thank you very much. Share. Okay, thank you. At the end, I'd like to thank you very much for your time, for your attendance, and for all your questions. And I would invite you to the next Advanced Steel webinar, which will be on 14th September. And the topic will be customizing bolts, anchors, and shear studs using Advanced Steel 2017. Thank you very much. Thank you all.